Some rooms should never exist. Some water should never be touched. And some voices should never be heard. Tonight's horror tale is called The Drowning Room. Inspired by the eerie style of Peter Straub, this story will pull you deep into the cold silence of secrets long buried. The Whitley estate was the kind of house that even the trees seemed to avoid. Towering and sharp against the sky, it sat alone on a hill above the bay. Its shutters always half closed, its gardens long since swallowed by weeds. When Vivian Whitley drowned in her clawfoot tub, no one heard the splash. They said she was a recluse, but that word didn't do justice to her absence. For the last decade, no one had seen her outside the house. Food was delivered, but never signed for. Letters went unanswered, and yet the lights flicked on every night like clockwork, as if the house itself kept her alive. Their death only came to light when the smell reached the postman. The Whitley children arrived days later, 3 of them in black. Claudia, the eldest, all sharp cheekbones and perfume. Edward, the lawyer, expression buried behind glasses and silence. And Alice, the youngest, quiet and tense, as though returning to the house had drawn the breath out of her. They hadn't seen their mother in 15 years. "We're just here to collect the will," Edward said, stepping over a broken garden gnome. But the house had other plans. The will was sealed inside a heavy ledger kept in the master bedroom, a room that still smelled of lavender and wet stone. Claudia opened it with a shaky hand. The ink was fresh, as if written yesterday. "To my children, I leave the house. You will not be able to sell it. You will not want to. You must find the room. You must listen. If you don't, the house will never let you leave. Do not drain it. Do not try to explain it. Just listen." "Vivian, what room?" Alice whispered. The answer came the next morning in the form of a sound. A soft slosh, like someone walking barefoot through a puddle upstairs. But the house had no plumbing in the attic. Behind a door they barely remembered was a sealed room, bolted, padlocked, plastered over. When they finally opened it, the smell hit them first, seawater and something older, like rotting lilies. The room was filled to the ceiling with cold, perfectly still water. No pipes, no leaks, just water. And beneath the surface, voices. They weren't loud. They didn't scream. They whispered. Claudia leaned in first, crouching near the waterline. "Mother?" she asked. The voice that answered was not Vivian's. "You took the ring." She fell back pale. "I didn't. I didn't think she noticed." Each sibling took a turn. Edward stood silently for minutes, nodding to voices only he could hear. When he turned, his eyes were damp. "I forged the trust fund," he said. "When Dad died, I thought she'd never know." Then Alice approached, the youngest, the quietest. Her reflection rippled, twisted, and then something else looked back. Her own voice came from the water. "You were never hers." She stumbled out of the room, hands shaking. "What does that mean?" she asked. But no one answered. They tried to leave the next morning. The front doors wouldn't open. The car keys vanished. The lights flickered with laughter that wasn't theirs. Back in the attic, the water rose. It covered the windows, then the ceiling, then the door frame, but only from inside. The rest of the house remained dry. Edward wanted to drain it. He ran for tools. Never came back. They found his phone in the water the next morning, still lit, recording a voicemail, with no message, just breathing. Eventually, Claudia stopped sleeping. Alice refused to speak. The house grew colder. The voices called each night with more urgency, telling them things, showing them things. The night before they disappeared, Claudia wrote in lipstick on the bedroom mirror, "She isn't in the water. She is the water. When the police finally arrived weeks later, the estate was empty. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Only the sealed attic door, bolted shut again from the inside, and a faint sound, if you stood close enough, sloshing and whispering, always whispering. Thank you for listening to The Drowning Room. If you ever hear a voice calling from behind a sealed door, don't open it. Some truths are meant to sink. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy horror stories that stay with you long after the final word.